Hey, everybody, welcome to Bridging the Gap with the Hills.
Hey.
One more time.
One
One
more
more
time.
Hello.
time. This is episode 40. For episode 40, I guess you should have went and got your glasses.
Honey, where's your glasses?
Which 40 is it? Which
40.
40?
Just D40.
Episode 40. I have to run and go get my glasses on the break or something here. But welcome to Bridging the Gap with the Hill one more time.
Woo!
Here to uh, welcome all of you in.
Mhm.
Let me put the comments. Uh, yeah, I think I don't know what I did. I did something.
There was no comments yet, so
Oh, okay.
yes,
That's what's wrong.
yes, sir.
There is no comments. There's nobody. Well, there's two people to be you and me. Okay, we'll go to comments. There is none.
There it is. Hey, Hills.
Hey, Hills. Hi, Celeste. Stormy.
Mhm. Okay. Hello, Hills. Oh, they coming in. All right. We got. Okay, here we go. And Stormy.
I like the stormy background. It is a storm going on.
There's a storm out on the ocean, and it's moving this way. If your soul not anchored in Jesus, it will surely drift away.
I'm gonna put them up. Y'all gonna have to.
I ain't got no Holy
Hey.
Ghost. Who's
Yeah.
hosting the show today? Come on, Saints. What's going on?
Oh, honey, you're gonna have to host it. I'll tell you right now. You're gonna have to do it. I put it up. I already gave the hellos to everybody. So
Oh.
Okay. Stormy says that green is look nice on you. Would that be your safe space green or is that my green?
They don't give me no compliments on bridging the gap. It's all you, Miss Angela.
Why, thank you. If you're talking to me, thank you. He said, sing, VT. He loves to sing, Stormy. Oh my God, he will sing.
All day. Right.
Don't even have to ask it.
Right.
Just there's always a song in his spirit, honey.
Yeah. They say that I sing like a white evangelical though.
That was still a little white evangelical, but we're still
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Got a little crack
Good
in me.
breed. Thank you, darling.
Mhm. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Saints. All right, Saints. We need to have like a secret family huddle.
I don't know what's going on.
Dad, Ali, you to you, Ma. He said that he wanted you to host it today. You didn't hear him say that?
No.
Okay, he said that like about 2 minutes ago.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start over. Hello, everybody. This is Bridging the Gap with the Hills. So good to be on with you again today. We have waited all week to see you, lovely people. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being with us again. Do know that our session, all of our sessions are well planned. They're well thought out. So, my darling husband, right. Well, I apologize, honey. I didn't hear you say that you needed me to host. So, but here I am. Thank you, and I'll do my darndest. I'll do my bestest.
We
All
believe
right,
in you.
say, but Vincent, how are you? Vincent, you left to go to Atlanta,
Mhm.
and you were gone, and you were back, and that's not by coincidence. That's by God's grace.
Yeah, I got on the road this morning at 6 a.m. and I need to do that more often, though I'm going to take a nap as soon as this is over. I need to do that more often because I zipped right up here. No traffic, no issues.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I've told you 1,000 times that early morning travel is the best travel. It really is.
It's just getting up. And I happened to be up this morning, so I got on the road. So I'm
Wonderful.
here back. I haven't done a live show in the studio since last Wednesday, 7 days ago.
Wow, 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 wow. Oh, that's good. That's awesome. Well, we're glad to be back together again and just so thankful that we you made it back safely because stuff happens to the best of us. Stuff happens.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, and so we are thankful for that.
Mhm.
That healed. So I understand you're not at 100, maybe 95, maybe 90, but whatever the number is, we're
Okay.
about a 50.
Jesus.
Oh, you need to go to bed, Haunty.
What in the world? You could at
Lay
least
down.
lied, Dad. You could have said 80, 85. Now we got good God. 50 is such a thing.
Yeah, that right there. But okay, well, we'll do what we need to do to fill in. He don't have the glasses. I'm just about to throw something. I mean, I'm just about to throw
Okay.
something. You're rocking the top of your head again because you don't put your glasses on. He's going to get his glasses,
You
y'all.
gotta get his glasses down.
Let him get his glasses. Let the man get his glasses. Okay.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, so but we have some interesting topics today.
Mhm.
Actually, it's one topic, but
Right.
there's a little step back
Mhm.
into last week's discussion. The
Mhm.
discussion talking about the parenting. If you all remember,
Right.
the whether we should cut David locks or grace David to keep his locks.
Right.
Well, now I think are we waiting for Dad here for this visit?
Because you
I
gotta
think
click the
we
pick. He's got to click the pick.
Okay, he's got to click the pick. Okay. So, but when y'all see the pick, ooh, he clicked the pick. Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, before you go there, y'all, for those who said no, don't make him cut his hair, this, that, and the other. Well, first of all, it was his mother. It wasn't me. It was none of us. It was his mother.
I
She
was in
was the one.
Atlanta.
He was in Atlanta, and I was in Burlington. Okay,
Right.
I was in
Right.
Burlington. And so, well, what happened while we're discussing whether to grace him again or not, he goes to the school, do the same thing he did the first time. And mama didn't want to hear nothing you had to say, nor what we had to say. She got him between her knees, got her scissors. She cut his hair. Then she took him to the barber shop to properly align him.
Mhm.
And
Right.
so this is what happened to David. I
Right.
spoke with David and he was like, no big deal. I was like, and so we have a whole show on your feeling, your manhood and all of that. And
Uh,
it's no big deal to you. All right, Mr. David. So, but here we are. So just to let you all know what happened with David and the locks. Now, you may say it's still she shouldn't have done it or whatever. Wait, were you live Monday? So let's ask were you live Monday, Vincent? Oh, okay. See, whatever that is. But anyway, so but yeah, this is what happened with David, and it wasn't that we didn't have the mercy or the grace. It was every bit of that he repeated some behaviors that were frowned upon from the first place. So we just thought we'd bring that in there for you all to see. David
okay.
is fine. I took him to school this morning. Can you believe his mom wanted him to stay here last night? I went and got him. And then I forgot he was here. And so about 7:30, I'm like, oh my God, David is here. His
Mhm.
bus comes at 7:30, you know what, about 15 minutes from here.
Mhm.
And so I had to take him all the way to the school because he missed the bus. But I said all that to say David is fine. He was happy. I took him to McDonald's for breakfast and he thought I was the best grandmother in the
Oh,
world.
oh
So
yeah, you're good to go. Now,
yeah,
did you reiterate? Because now on social media, you can't just drive by. You have to make sure the point is pressed in.
okay.
Number one, you, me, nor dad had anything to do with him getting his haircut. Number
Okay.
number two, he went back to that school cutting the fool again.
Uh-huh.
And his mom got called again.
Uh-huh.
So, because you got to make sure because people hear what they want to hear. So we got to make sure we exonerate ourselves here.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's be clear.
Yes.
Let's be clear. Papa Hill, Vincent Hill, nor myself had anything at all to do with David getting his haircut. Now,
Right.
how that right there happened, I don't know, but it happened. Okay.
Mhm.
So, just to let you all know, it had nothing
Nothing to do with
to
that.
do with us. Okay.
All right,
Not
Stace.
sure what's going on here.
You know what?
Let's
Here what
see.
we're gonna do. We're gonna shut this stream down and start over again. Don't y'all go nowhere with me right there.
We're not shutting it down. Why should we shut it down?
I was just joking, Mom.
Oh,
You know how many times y'all phone have rung in the 40 episodes we've had?
I was just wanting to make sure.
What we gonna do? We'll go read some comments.
Uh-huh.
Back to the comments. Wow. Okay, where were we at?
Okay.
All right, here.
Okay. Hello from everyone. There are more. Hello. I'm watching from work. God bless you. Hi, Phyllis. Hello. How are you? Phyllis is a relative.
Hey, Phyllis.
Okay.
Yeah, Stormy. McDonald's breakfast would do it for a kid, huh? Laugh
Every
out
time.
loud.
Absolutely.
Every time he was real happy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. What we want to do is, since I'm not up to 100%, son, you read the comments, Honey Bunch. Go to your, on your phone to where um, we thought we had fixed it where it won't ring.
Mm-hmm.
While VT is reading the comments. Okay.
Okay.
Now, mhm.
So you want, okay, mom silence her phone while I read comments.
I did already. It's silenced already.
It's silence now.
Okay, it's back in your hand, baby.
Okay, I read that one, honey.
You read that one? Okay. We're moving along.
Dr. Bessie Jones, praise the Lord. Hello, the hills. Hello, saints. I'm glad to be with y'all. Praise the Lord. It is good to have you with us too, Bessie Jones. Now, for Pastor Bessie Jones to be on here is an accomplishment. She said I don't know how she feels now, but the last time I talked to her, she was done with her phone. I understand, Pastor, done with these telephones. Yes, ma'am. Welcome to Bridging the Gap with the Hills. Thank you for being on with us today.
Right.
Not our executive producer acting up. David.
Associate producer. They keep on giving him executive. He's an associate producer.
Okay. Well, he lost his hair for sure.
Right.
Okay, we're going to move on here. And
Green Hearts Daryl.
okay.
I'm auntie and uncle cousin. Right. Doing good. Wonderful.
Good.
Okay, we caught up now. We can go back to David, talking about David.
So, Ma, how did you feel? How did you feel when you got his haircut?
Well, he said he was fine. I was just kind of in between two worlds with it. But once I saw him, I felt okay because he said it was okay. And not only did she cut his hair, she did what we call the old-fashioned whooping.
You got a spanking. I ain't heard nobody. We might be embarrassing David with this part, Ma.
Okay.
He might not want people to know he got a spanking.
I talked to him this morning. I said, we're going to talk about you again. He said, okay.
Okay. Let me hop in. Number one, it wasn't a real spanking. Okay. Number two, David is no ways tired and probably at school cutting up again. Okay. Right. Let me tell you why. Because out of my sister, my mother, and my father, all them together is not enough discipline to amass to really anything at all.
Okay.
No disrespect, but David is chilling. I FaceTime David. He's sitting there smiling at me. Like, you clearly didn't get a whooping, and you clearly don't mind your hair being cut. So let me just put that out there.
Right.
And this picture, he's supposed to be in being cool.
Oh yeah, that's like a. He's supposed to be like profiling, right?
He's posing.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, but anyway, so that's that. Whoopings save lives. It saved mine, Daryl's, and we won't even hear what Vincent has to say.
Oh.
Okay, next.
Right. Okay. So
is that it, Mr. Hill?
That's it.
Okay. Well, so then we need to make the move on to today's topic. What is it all about here, my people?
Partnerships, right?
Yes, it is talking about partnerships. Let's go out there with that. When we're talking about partnerships, it's amazing how when it's just yourself, you can move forward in partnership. Whatever your vision is, whatever you're feeling in your soul or whatever, you don't really have to consider anyone else. Am I good, you guys? What's going on?
Before we go there, somebody have a question. Let's put it up.
Okay. Celeste says, so given his response, what do y'all think was accomplished? Now, you know what, Celeste? Amazing. Thank you for asking that question, because I asked the question, what was accomplished? In fact, I asked his mom, And she said, because remember last week, there were those who were saying, maybe we should, maybe the punishment, the punishment didn't fit the crime or whatever. And then there were those that were saying perhaps it was just a bit much, consider something else, take the phone or whatever. And so when I considered everything that took place and even the responses that was made, there was one thing that really I really grappled with, is that whether we reacted too soon or too harshly, when it comes to children, especially early childhood, even at his where he is as a 13-year-old, once we say we're going to do something, we really have to just swallow. I mean, really bite the bullet and do what we say we're going to do. And even if it means going back to the child and saying, listen, I later thought about it, but because you continued in the way you were going, I'm going to have to do what I said I was going to do. Because one thing we know, when we promise or we tell a child we're going to do something and we don't do it, they tend to lose respect. How many times I tell my daughter, how many times are you saying the same thing over and over again? Because they are accustomed to you telling them, if you don't clean the kitchen behind yourself, I'm going to do this or do that, and you never do it. So they give no honor to your words. And we don't ever want to be in a position where the children don't respect what we say, whether it's by way of this, what we're talking about, or later in life when we make promises, things that we put forth, and they in their minds they're like, she ain't gonna do it, she don't never do what she says she's gonna do. And this is important. Them respecting, honoring, and believing what we have to say is important. I feel that perhaps we were a little hasty with saying the next time you get in trouble we're going to cut your hair. I honestly feel it was a little hasty, but at the same time it was already done. But she reiterated to him when the teacher called her, she had to go to the school, and she had me on the phone. I was on mute and I heard everything they said. And it was like she was being scolded because of her son cutting up at school. And she said to them, I'm not one of these kind of mothers who send my kids to school and just don't care. I stay in behind. I make sure they do the work, this, that, and the other. So, Celeste, to answer your question, if nothing else was accomplished, he knows now that when his mother says something, she's going to do what she says she's going to do. Well, now for us, we're going to be a little bit more careful in the things that we put out hastily, or not be so hasty with the things that we put out. Does that answer your question at all? I hope it did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tell you what, and I'm very slow to speak with these kind of topics because I feel like sometimes I remember this person, when I get kids, I ain't gonna be raising them like y'all. They're gonna be disciplined, and them about the most hoodlums I know, because it's easy to say something when you don't have something. So that being said, I try to not give too much opinion, but the dialogue last Wednesday, the discussion last Wednesday really put me on game about, honoring the humanity in kids and
Mhm.
thinking beyond the moment to these long-term consequences. We always talk about consequences from the perspective of um, the world harming them. If you don't, then this. But
Mhm.
there's
Mhm.
not enough discussion about the consequences of us, family members, adults, the authority figures within harming them. And so that discussion last Wednesday put me on game for sure.
It really did. Myself as well. And it was during the discussions that I come to connect with the whole idea that the crime, the punishment for the crime was a bit hasty.
Yeah.
It wasn't well thought out. So yeah. Stormy says, I'm still scared of my mother. She don't play. I'm in my 40s. Wow. Me too. And mine's deceased, and I'm still scared of her. Yeah.
I also like to just add something to the comment, is that uh, he was also tired of those anyway. So really, he was
Okay.
just looking for an excuse to get rid of him because he kept cutting them. He'll come over here, he'll cut a little bit, and he'll cut a little bit, and
Wow.
then you look at him. So he was ready. So really, in all that, that's why he's sitting there cool.
Right.
That part of him. But the thing that's really getting him now, he don't have a phone. Remember, we all agreed on
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
y'all. So his phone is gone.
his phone.
that's why he overslept this morning. I forgot he was here, so he didn't have a phone to set an alarm.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now that makes sense. That makes sense because yeah, we would be seeing David. He'd be lopsided, and we trying to figure out why he walking slanted, and that's because he done cut his. He's
Mhm.
he done cut one half of his locks, and it's short. The other half is long because he was experimenting. So I think I do agree. I think for
yeah,
me, I think the chastising from his mother, the
yeah.
not the lashing out, the
Right.
Mhm.
yeah, but the intent, purpose-filled chastisement got his attention, and then I'm sure the phone got his attention more than the hair did.
Yeah. Stormy asks, "Is it hard raising a Gen X child?" Stormy, it's a challenge raising a child. Period.
Mhm.
Because parenting, you're automatically the bad guy. You're automatically the bad guy, and especially to the Gen X, what did I say, Gen X, Gen Z.
Gen Z.
It's yeah, it's a whole nother world, and the challenge is that it goes against everything that we believe. My generation, you know, just go ahead and be done with it. But now you got to go through a process and got to walk through it. Step one in this punishment, in this chastisement, you got 10 steps. And it's like, really, we could have been done with this.
Do we have to go through it, or are we open to learning new ways of communicating?
Mhm.
Mhm.
I'm just asking, Mama here.
Oh, we're open to new ways of communicating.
Amen.
Wait till we get off set. You know? Yes, taking the phone was a good thing. It was a good thing.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
Stormy said he's lucky he only got the phone taken. Y'all didn't change the Wi-Fi password like my sister does her kids.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. All right, Mr. Hill.
Okay, all right then. We'll go to the topic and let's be finished with Brother David.
Yeah, well, we'll see if the punishment has gotten his attention a little bit. He only has 13 days left, 13, 12, 12, 13 days left for school.
It's
So
cool. Right,
yeah,
right.
just chill out, and got a little cabin fever problem. Hopefully he'll chill out a little
Okay.
bit.
All
Okay, so
right.
we're talking about, so do we go to the next topic?
Mhm.
Okay, so we're talking about partnership, and as we all know, partnership looks like a whole lot of things. There's partnership in business, partnership in relationships, just simple relationships, partnerships in marriages,
Mhm.
entrepreneurs, neighbors. In any relationship is considered. It can be considered a partnership. Um, Unfortunately, in a partnership, other than now in a business partnership, there is literally you go through the process of contracts. You go through the process of word of mouth, the shaking of the hand. This is what we're gonna do. You're going to court, the whole nine. And so it legitifies, partnership when it comes to business. Okay, so in marriages, partnership, it I do that, that's a partnership. And if the truth be told, it's the most uh uh prevalent one. I mean, the one that is mostly disregarded or null and void at the end of the day, when one or two decide, I don't want to do this no more. But also there's partnerships in friendships, relationships. These partnerships, there's no legal binding. There's no legal binding.
Mm.
There's, oh, okay, there's people that we have grown to love. We have grown to, we have connected. But these things, a lot of time, most of the time, they last. But one thing about a friendship, it can get really stormy, but real friendships can survive storms. They really
Mhm.
can. And there are friendships that were not given the time to develop enough to survive a storm. So my question, I want to ask this to Vincent. Vincent is not as easy to develop a friendship, and most of the time men are not as easy to develop relationships and such as friends as women are, because women, we tend to connect. If we're sitting at a table with someone we never met before, we're eating and something funny is said, we laugh like crazy. And if it's funny to two or three people, we look at it as having something in common, because it's 10 of us and just 3 of us laugh. It's like, you know what, you're cool. Them over there, And so in relationships, friendships, how about in siblingship? Oh my God, that's another story. But in the relationships, what makes us partners? Vincent, what make you a Vincent? Okay, what makes you a partner with your sister or your brother?
What makes me a partner with my sibling? Am I a partner with my siblings? Are we
Yeah,
partners?
there is partnership with that, whether it was intentional, or just landed in your lap because it's
Herb,
just,
I thought you was going somewhere else. You brought them siblings in. I wasn't ready for the siblings. I thought you was going somewhere else.
that's why I gave you the sibling. That's a difficult one.
I'm not partnering with my siblings.
You're not partners with your siblings,
We're siblings.
so there can't be partnership with siblings.
And
Are you saying?
yeah, I don't know. No, you can. I'm just saying I'm not partnering with them. We're just siblings.
You're not just siblings. There are things that's set in place with siblings. Siblings get together and they make family work. Whether you partnered on paper, you went to the court and says you're gonna do this. If mom and dad get old and need care, this is what we're gonna do. But that's not what happens. Siblings automatically know if something happened in the family, it's their responsibility to step forth.
Well, no, okay. So if you're talking about like the agreement that we got each other's backs, if that's what you're talking about, then absolutely.
It's not that a partnership.
I just didn't know. Like you just dropped you did a monologue and dropped a random question on me, so I didn't know.
Celeste and Mama Hill don't put him on the spot.
Right, like you went in. Right, and you just came right around. Well, what about siblings? Well, I don't know. Like, you got to set me up right.
I thought I preluded with. I thought I gave the pathway to walk on. Are you still in Atlanta right now?
Man, okay, so if we're gonna be shady, you gave a 30-minute monologue. you left me and Dad in Atlanta, and you went to LA, and then you're gonna come back and send a bird and drop a letter. How you feel about your brother and sister? What am I supposed to?
I didn't ask you how you feel about your brother and sister. We're talking about partnerships in relationships.
Okay. I just was not. I really, honest to God, thought you was going somewhere else. So let me think.
Okay, well, where did you think I was going?
Just about partnerships, and because you said Vincent don't make friends easy, so I was headed towards friendship, and then you said, "Let me ask you this, Vincent, because you don't make friends easily." And
right, so that's why I left the friendship and went to sister and brothership, because you don't make friends easy.
Well, I don't make friends. Okay, so all right, siblings. If we are in partnership, we are in partnership for mischief. We are. Look at Dad shaking his head. we have not been in partnership in a more like serious kind of way. Like, I already know if something happened to y'all, my sister gonna be Leo and my brother gonna feel like he know everything. I've already told them, whatever y'all say, I don't care, because I don't got time for it. So as the partner, my contribution, all joking aside, to the sibling partnership is I am the youngest. When I'm around them, I'm not V. Terrell Hill. Me and Misi is sitting back talking about PJ and Vanjie behind their back, because they are having a war on who is right, who is wrong. I'm the youngest, and I have a good time. And yeah, that is my true question. That is my contribution to the partnership. I don't be trying to boss around. I don't try to make decisions. I am the youngest sibling. When we do our sibling convocations,
Uh-huh.
they be watching out for me, making sure I don't get into something. We went to this like nightclub and I stepped outside for air. Vanjie, you all right? You okay? Because I'm the youngest sibling. So maybe that's another reason why I'm like, because I choose not to be responsible in my siblingship. I choose to be the youngest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you feel powerless when you're with them? With that being said?
Oh no, I revel in the fact that I'm not leading the ship. I enjoy it. I like I said, I choose to be the youngest. That's my like contribution. I'm not trying to fix nothing. I'm not trying to sway the conversation. I am relaxed, having a good time. We went to the baseball game. There's pictures of me sleep, knocked out. Why? Because I didn't have to watch my back, because I knew my siblings was there to make sure nobody stole nothing from me. When we was on the train station, I had a little substance in my blood. I was laughing and cutting up and just cutting the food because my siblings were there. I am the youngest.
Okay.
I am the youngest child. Yeah,
Okay. Wow. Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting.
isn't it? That's why I was like, I don't even try to contribute to the power of the siblings. I enjoy it.
So do you think the lineup in the
Mhm.
siblings could produce a certain outlook on the relationship?
I think that we fall in line. Like, and it was never a discussion when we're hanging out. Like when they're in Atlanta, of course, I choose where we're gonna go. But
Okay.
they're literally like calling the shots and so and so and so. And I'm laughing, cutting up, and carefree. When we went to DC, the same kind of thing. When we're for Thanksgiving, I'm just the youngest child, just cutting up and laughing. Where we gonna play spades at? I didn't choose to go to PJ's room for the spades. They chose it, and so yeah, I don't like I don't get into parenting. I don't be trying to tell Vanjie or PJ, why don't you? I don't get into none of
Okay.
it. I really have surrendered to whatever their flow is. Yeah, and that's and let me say this: my siblings are not. We don't do a lot of back and forth and bickering. I just like being the youngest child.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because you're always the strong one. It feels good to say, absolutely. Yeah. I don't have to say nothing right. They already know I'm gonna be cutting up and they already know, and I'm just enjoying life when I'm with them.
Wow. That's good. Okay.
Even when I hang out with Vanjie and Caitlin or Kayla, what's her best friend name?
Callie?
Callie. Yeah, I'm the youngest. I'm the younger brother.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you, Vincent, very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for coming out on top. Mhm. So-
I got a question for y'all.
okay.
So I was having such an odd. Are y'all enjoying this? Because this is such an odd podcast today. It's like good. It's not. I'm not dissing it, but it's an interesting vibe today. But I got a question for y'all. So I'm having a conversation with someone, and I'm telling them about traditional setup. Right.
Okay.
My niece was raised mostly by you all.
Hmm.
My brother is the head of his household. My
Okay.
father, which is her father, my father is the head of his household.
Okay.
So she naturally um positions herself very submissive in her relationship. Like she's the woman of the house. She's a kept lady. She ain't trying to do nothing but do what she want to do. And
Okay.
I was having a discussion and someone said that the trade-off for that is if the man does something sideways, then the woman sort of has to just put up with it because that's a part of the trade-off. Like, I guess what he was saying was back in the day when women had less rights, that situation was it was the man of the house, and the women, though she enjoyed his security, just had to just put up with the man. I was saying I don't think that's like that because I don't see that with you all,
Hmm.
but maybe I'm blind to it. Like when the household is more traditional and you all's partnership, where the man is the head of the house and the woman is the submissive one, if you will, uh,
Hmm.
do mom, you feel like you give up still certain rights as a woman to enjoy the security of this kind of patriarchal home?
Mm.
And that's a question to me, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Mhm.
Yeah. 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 I do. I
Oh,
do. But
yeah.
it's No, seriously, not because it's a law, not because society has dictated it. I
Mhm.
have personally decided, to choose my battles. And upon choosing my battles,
Mhm.
if something happens, now let me say this, let me be clear with this.
Mhm.
He's never been the kind of man that I literally had to stay in the house and tolerate some stuff because of his outside the house behaviors,
Mhm.
or anything that was really painful. It
Mhm.
was just little stuff. And so
So
it's
there was
like,
no cheating and beating.
huh?
There was no cheating and beating.
No, there was no cheating, no beating. If it was cheating, he did a very good job because I still to this day know nothing about it.
Dad,
This type thing. And
hold 1 second, just real quick. Dad, you have anything to say?
so,
Mm. How about like you now? That's a good something. All of a sudden, you turn around and ask me if I have anything to say. And I'm
Okay.
like,
wait.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
You acted like a man who was cheating at some point.
Right, like
And, oh my God, when did she find out? Why is she in front of all of these people? And
you ain't what I gotta say.
oh, yeah, look, Celeste said Papa Hill looked stunned. Yes, he did. Oh my
It
God.
was like my response when you said, "What about your siblings?" I'm like, What about my sibling? What?"
Oh my God.
oh,
Okay, Ed
but no,
Hill,
I
it's
don't
on
have any.
you,
I don't have
sir.
nothing to add to that. We
I can
I
barely hear you. Is something wrong with my
oh,
speaker?
did my stuff go out?
No, we can hear you. Just got to probably speak a little louder, Dad.
Okay. Um, I don't have nothing to add to it. We we don't have that traditional. I'm the man. You follow what I say. No, we gotta
That's
we
true.
know where we are and
Mm-hmm.
we work together that way.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Uh, so that's how we maneuver and go. If she know I got her back, and then uh, she know I know she got my back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
way we work it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true story. I've never the times when I say, you know what, I'm just going to bite the bullet. It's not for anything outlandish at all. It's for something simple. For example, if I'm leaving in the morning and it's garbage morning, I have the option to take the cans out because I'm out already,
Mm-hmm.
or text him and say, honey, don't forget the cans. And because whatever, I sent a text and say, honey, don't forget the cans.
Right.
But now if he was sick in the bed or whatever, I remove the cans. But Vincent, most of the time you do it.
Mm-hmm.
But every once in a while it's that situation. That was just an example.
Right.
Um we live our lives, Vince, and you live here with us. We live our lives where uh it's easy to please him. And I hopefully he's can say it's easy to please me, and
Yeah.
even with you, Vince, because if the three of us is here now, we're not traditional. I don't go in and cook dinner every day and say, hey, dinner's ready, come on, I'm gonna fix you something to eat. I'll go in and cook what I want to cook, but I always fix enough that if Vince or Dad want some, they can have some.
Yeah.
Vince may go out and do something where it's just him,
Mm-hmm.
but it's okay. But what will not happen, I will not fix something to eat and not fix anything for my husband. A lot of times I'll ask him, do you want some? I'll ask him, is it anything in particular you want or whatever? Because from the old school, I feel like it's my responsibility to make sure I give him to fix him something to eat. All because I feel that it's his responsibility that there's a roof over my head. I feel
Mhm.
it's his responsibility that I drive a car that don't have three tires. They have four tires and they're all filled with air.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a mutuality going on between us. I don't feel that, well, it's my, I have to do all of this, that, and the other, and even Vince, you and I have this thing where even if you go in the kitchen to mess up dishes, when I go in there, I'll just clean them because you do all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It takes the garbage out, and it's not we're not counting who did the most. No, we're just doing what needs to be done. And to me, that's a partnership. To me,
Yeah, yeah. I have. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dad.
And that's what uh, I agree with you. And it's a partnership because we whatever we see need to be done, we just do it.
Right.
mhm, mhm.
It don't have uh, a title to it.
Agenda, yeah, agenda title to it.
Agenda
Yeah,
to it.
yeah,
There you go. That's right. Agenda to it. Because whatever it need to be done, we just do it. That's the way we always been anyway.
Mhm.
Except for a few things.
Yeah.
Uh,
yeah.
she do put gas in the car now.
Who
Sometimes,
do?
Oh, do you, Mom?
sometimes.
I about to say, I've never seen my
Every,
mother hold
let
it.
me put it like this: every now and then, when it's when she done where she drove it and she noticed she ain't got about 2 miles to go and it's 10 miles to the house.
Can't help it. Then.
You
Right.
know, what he doesn't know, Vincent, I go get one of the grandsons. They pump it.
Oh
I don't think I've ever seen my mother hold a gas pump in my life.
no, you sure haven't.
You
No.
have not.
Yeah, because if I'm there, I'm pumping it. And if dad's there, he's pumping it. And God
Right.
forbid them boys in the car, they don't pump it.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
oh yeah. So but I,
And cut the grass.
right,
Don't cut grass.
right, right.
Did you say cut grass?
I say you don't cut grass.
No.
Yeah. I think that's interesting because I wanted to go back and forth with the guy, but sometimes you can live in your own bubble and just don't see it for what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
True. That's
I,
true.
I do want to say for you what you were saying, Mom, about and Dad, about there is no like it's Tuesday, my day to clean the kitchen, so y'all be making a mess,
Right.
which I don't feel like I have the right to say that to you all anyway. Not because you're my parents alone, not just on GP, but because I'm in your home. So I want to
Yeah.
honor you all in your
Mhm.
home, right? And
Mhm.
so I think there's a certain honor that comes with how I move because I'm up under your roof.
Yeah.
And I just think that just should be. But what I gather or what I'm hearing from you all is true partnership is maybe an agreement on one direction.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now, I clean the kitchen a certain kind of way. Mom
Mhm.
cleans the kitchen a certain kind of way. Dad cleans the kitchen a certain kind of way. But the kitchen needs to be clean.
Mm.
Yes. Right.
So if we're all on one accord on that direction,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
we're all equally invested in getting there, there sometimes isn't a need for this very structured and I done it like
Mhm.
this and that,
Mhm.
third and the fourth, versus we're all moving organically, innately, in one
Right.
direction.
Mhm.
What do you have to
Mhm.
say about that?
Yeah, it is so, it is so, because even Vincent, one of the pet peeves that I had with the boys, if they take the trash out and don't put a new bag in, because I'll put the trash and go to put trash in, there's not a bag there, my blood just boils, right?
Yeah, they make
But I do that to you all the time.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because you know where the bags are. I don't.
Right.
And
Right.
so, and
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Ooh, Lord, don't let him get mad with me. I got to remember to tell him to show me where the bags are," type thing, you know. But it's a part. It's a unvoiced, unprecedented, no legal bindings concern. It is a partnership when people live in the house. Now, Vincent, you said that you out of respect to us,
Mhm.
you don't feel that if we go in this mess up the kitchen that you should say something. Well, in turn, we don't feel that we would take advantage of you or
Right.
anybody. It's like you don't just make a mess and figure, well, they in my house. You don't do that. That's
Right.
not even the God part. That's not even humane, not good
Human
working
being.
relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Vincent is very anal. He's very routine. And so he cooks a certain time. He cooks, I think, on Monday or Tuesday. He grilled chicken thighs, and he put them up for the week. And he tells us we can eat whatever we want. But out of respect to him, we like chicken thighs and we'll eat some. But out of respect to him, he chose to go buy those and to cook them. Why are y'all eating up all the boy meat?
Right. But see, on the opposite, I didn't hit. Let me say this. This come from her bathroom. On
Not
the
my
opposite.
bathroom, my kitchen.
Oh, okay. Well, in her bathroom, there's an area that it's big enough. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Since now I got to flex since you corrected me. It's big enough that she has a whole area that has a little kitchenette in it,
Uh-huh.
and I'm always eating her walnuts and peppermint. So for me, it's like, how dare I, if I got the money and I know that they can just reach in there and get a good grilled chicken thigh on a random Thursday, I'm
Mm.
not tripping, because what I know is I'm gonna text Ma, you got any Diet Mountain Dews up there? So there, I think, and what I've been seeing in the comments is what it is an equal exchange of
Mhm.
honoring us as beings,
Yes.
not
Yes.
just gender, not just parents, but as a human being. When I first got here, let me tell you what my mother put me on game about me. The first thing I started doing was cleaning the kitchen. And she would
Mhm.
say, "You don't have to do that." And I was like, "Oh no, I like to do this." And you know what? She pulled me to the side and she said, "You have gotten in such a habit from being in your past, and some of y'all know what that means,
Mm.
doing things to please people, that
Mhm.
you immediately came in the home and started doing things to please."
Mhm. Mhm.
And she would tell me for a long time, "Don't worry about cleaning the kitchen. I got it."
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
think that sort of set me in a place of honoring the
Mhm.
person, because as a child, it should have been a no-brainer. Well, you should be cleaning it. You're the child. But
Mhm.
it's like she saw me as a human. And
Mhm.
so it could very well be that I have fell into rank as
Mhm.
honoring humans because you all honored me as a human first,
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
human that needed rest, a son that needed rest, more
Mhm.
than we know you're here to rest, but can you? I mean, even to this day, if I'm in here, whether I am doing my contractual work that I won't talk about right now, or I am getting ready for a show, they gently knock on the door. Are you busy, son? If you're busy, can you do you? So I must say that you all set a very easy example for me to follow at the same time.
Mhm. That's
Easy.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, Vincent does it to me. He does it to his dad. His dad does it to him. He does it to me. I do it to Vincent, and I do it to my husband. And everything that we do, we don't, it's just not a show when we're in public. It's what we do behind the doors.
Right.
It's simple. We don't have to work on it. It just comes natural because it is who we are. And because we honor each other when we are out in public, if we were to see any of you, it would not be hard in a restaurant to say, "Hey, I got you."
Right.
Versus, "I don't know who they are. I'm not paying for their food." No, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we honor one another. Yes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I must. It would be me to say, "Mama, let them people pay for their food."
They
Right.
showed
It would be
It would
Vincent.
be
It would
me.
be Vincent.
Mama, they do not have to sit with us. They came to sit with their family, and we sitting with our family. Mama, no, Celeste, girl, come on, girl. Celeste, and I'm using Celeste because I see it in the comments. Celeste, by the time that dinner is over, my mama would have done hugged your daughter 50, 11 times, done got your number, Celeste, done, and I was like, Mama, it's not that serious.
He does. He does. And he's like, "I don't want everybody to have my number." And I'm like, "Give everybody your number. You never know when you need to reach out or they need to reach out." And he's like, "Mm-mm, mm-mm."
I'm the prude. Between three of us, I'm the prude. But
See, but it's partnership.
it's part. Yeah.
Behind doors, it has to be. Now, we're not going to court to make sure that Vincent doesn't disrespect us or we don't disrespect him. It's part of the goodness of our hearts. It's part of, it's just human beings loving human beings
Right.
and honoring one another. It takes nothing to honor.
Right. So what?
it's called basic respect.
Yes,
Basic. Yes, it
that's what I was
is.
about to say. That yes.
If you got the basic respect,
Yeah.
you would treat everyone the way you want to be treated,
Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
regardless of the gender. It
mhm,
doesn't make a difference.
mhm,
Uh, if you want respect, then you get respect.
mhm.
Hmm.
And I believe that's the way a household should run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Oh, Thomas Bristol. Hello, family. But
Hey,
yeah,
Thomas.
yeah, we uh, and what do you all think? Do you think that's the way it should run, or you think it should be a dictatorship? I'm the man, and I'm the bread one. I bring the food in,
Yeah.
and so when I get here, I want everything done. And see, even nowadays, that's the way it used to be.
Mhm,
The man worked hard. The woman had this food ready for him when he got home
mhm,
because she didn't work. But
mhm,
now everybody work,
mhm.
and
Right,
for
right.
the children
Right,
work,
right,
Yeah.
so
right,
they working too.
right.
So, it's sort of hard to go back to where you were,
Mhm,
to where you have to demand that somebody. Matter of fact, you better learn how. My mother, I put it like my mother, uh, me, my brother, and my cousin. It was three boys that grew up together. She made sure we knew how to cook
mhm,
and we knew how to iron our clothes and
mhm.
wash our clothes. She could cause uh
Because she said that.
just in case you get a lazy wife
Ah!
or a wife who don't know how to cook, a wife who don't know how
Who
to cook,
refused to do it.
a wife who
Yo,
clean.
yo.
So she had us to learn how to do all of it.
Mhm,
Yeah.
And because I didn't know how to do it,
mhm,
and military has me to do it a certain way.
mhm.
First time my wife did my uniform, I was nice. And I said, well, you know what, baby? I don't want you to have to do that. I'll do it.
He
I
did. He
go
really
and
did.
the crease was going down the side and not down the front.
He is not telling the tale. It is so
So
true.
I
He
took
was he
off
was so
that.
nice about it though. I
But
couldn't get upset. He said, "Baby, I'll do it."
Mhm.
And I was like, "No, I insist. I'm supposed to do it." You said, "No, in the military, the crease has to go in the front, not on the side." And I
oh,
said, "Oh,
wow.
okay." And so he did it. He's been doing it even now. Hey, y'all, for those of you that's on here, guess what? Even now, he irons my clothes because I go in there get the wrinkles out. He go in there to make it look brand new from
Architecture and slide it on the edge and rah, 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 rah. And because he taught me how to do it, and
yeah.
I learned how to iron from Dad when we were in Oklahoma and
Mhm.
on Forest Avenue. So that was young me,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
I have used that method all of my life.
Wow.
All of my life. I got to ask y'all a question because we're about to get into an hour.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
And I know we got a lot of comments too. I don't even know if we can read them all. Mom and Dad, I have seen so many in my the last 2 years. I have had people come and people go. People connect, people disconnect, and that's life.
mhm.
Um, it seems like how long have y'all been married now?
To next month, June 21st, will be 52 years.
Oh,
52
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a lost art. The keeping of a relationship, the keeping of a partnership. Because the thing is, okay, I'm about to do my my monologue. Let me be quick with this. The thing is, what I'm realizing as I mature is that relationships need something to partner around,
Mhm.
Mhm.
need some kind of purpose. Um, what is it? What is the missing ingredient? What could you impart into all of us that are watching that are younger, um, that can give us the ingredients for longevity?
Wow. Wow.
Now,
Wow. Okay.
this is what I tell the younger people that get married.
Mhm,
Now, and this just married people. So, and that is your wife is your best friend, and for the wife, your husband is your best friend.
mhm,
That'll bring forth long because believe it or not, friendship lasts longer than loveship.
mhm.
Mhm.
Gotcha,
Mhm.
gotcha.
In some cases.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if the love run out, you still got a friend.
Right, right. So,
That's
so
funny.
what
That's
about
funny.
what about relationships that are not non-marriage relationships?
Hmm. Then I see the next thing for that is to have that respect from one another.
Mhm,
That respect will, and respect and know. You got to get to know them as a friend.
mhm, mhm,
Wow. Wow.
mhm.
Friends
That's
share
that's
stuff
oh,
that
go ahead.
sometimes
Mhm.
sisters and brothers don't share,
Right, right, right.
and that
That's true.
brings a lasting relationship.
So what I'm gathering out of today's show, though we had a little turbulence in the beginning. We didn't fell in our pocket. We didn't fell in this bridge in the gap pocket now. Um, what I'm gathering out of today's show is we need to restore a basic respect for humankind, period.
No,
Yeah,
that's a true story.
And
Yeah.
something simply said is probably so potent and pivotal for strong, long-lasting relationships.
Mhm, mhm.
Mm,
So true. For me, in the marriage, I'll say it's unfair to younger generations because remember, we're of that ancient
mm,
generation, I
mm,
call it, that generation that when you went to the altar, wherever it was at a courthouse, a home wedding, whatever it was, when you went to that altar and you said, I do mean I do. I I mean that my generation, I think is the last generation that tolerates. You know, we have to tolerate, not not anything outlandish, but
mm,
anymore people just get mad about anything. You know what? I think we're a mistake. Maybe we shouldn't have done it, and let's just go undo it. But it's like whatever the issue is, I can't even think of anything that was so bad between him and I that literally it just ripped us apart. I can't even think of anything. It wasn't comforting, it wasn't pleasant or whatever, but it didn't warrant getting a divorce.
right.
And maybe because he was a good guy, like I was a good girl.
yeah.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I can't help but oh, I'm sorry, Dan.
I was just saying we was fit for each other.
Yeah, and and that's what I'm saying, like, I can't I've been studying even in my own life, I feel like I have a great heart, but I don't feel like I've always contributed my best to my relationships,
Hmm.
and it's something that I've been studying as I'm in this space, this current space of renewal and starting
Yeah.
over again, this next round of relationships. What could I have contributed to and them niggas probably left anyway, but at any rate, what could I have contributed? Okay, there I go. So there I go. You know what? That's the problem. I need to
That's a problem. Right, right,
there it is.
right, right, right.
No, but in all seriousness, like, and I think I'm gonna meditate on this respect because the reality is I walked into this cocoon of warmth,
Hmm.
respect, and honor for the individual.
Mhm,
And the things that we did have to stop for a crossroad, the way we handled it, the way y'all have handled me, and the way we've handled each other subsequently has changed my doctrine, my
mhm,
life doctrine. And so I think as I'm just introspecting in introspection now, it's like I probably wasn't as warm to the person just being the no, don't wash the dishes because you're used to washing the dishes.
mhm,
Like,
mhm,
don't wash the dishes. Like I need the don't wash the dishes spirit in me. That
mhm,
makes sense what
mhm.
I'm saying, you know? And
Right.
because I want to contribute to society. I'm
Mhm, mhm,
burdened by the coldness in our society. I'm burdened by the lack of the village, the cut a
mhm,
nigga off so quick and things fall apart so quick. At
mhm,
the same time, feel shackled by it.
mhm,
And
mhm.
I think one of the things, listening to you all, and I so love the wisdom y'all share on this platform, is that decent just respect for the person.
Yeah, yeah. And in that, Vincent, and you said a lot. I mean, you said a lot, and we don't have time to individually dissect each of those things you said. But in any partnership, you cannot take the perspective, oh no, I've got to have the last word. You
Yeah.
cannot take the perspective of I've got I'm doing all the work. You may do more than the
Right.
next person, but at some point there's a place that we can communicate and say, hey, it probably just me, right now, but it's just seeming like it's just a little sideways here or whatever. But what I find to happen, and there's a young lady on here now that we go all the way back to Oklahoma,
Mhm.
and we're somewhat, I'm some years older than her, but we're somewhat of the same generation, and so we have been groomed to respect.
Mhm.
A lot of times you may produce more if you got the respect needed that caused the producing to
Yeah.
take place.
Correct. Correct.
I respect my husband,
Uh,
not because I was born with respect, because he showed me what respect looks like.
mhm.
You show me what respect looks like. Now, let me say this. Had your brother or sister came to live, it would be different. Guess why? They have kids.
Right.
And a lot of times when you have these other entities, it creates more of a challenge to
Yeah.
have
For me.
a sweet flow going on. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. Right.
Yeah. So all of that being said, and then my husband, God bless him, he's always honored me as his wife,
Mhm.
always honored me as a woman. He's the one told me, no, you don't pump gas. Because
Mhm.
I was just as boyish as I could be. No,
Mhm.
you don't pump gas. And I was like, oh, okay. And man, that's been 53. By the way, we're going into next month to be 53 years.
53. Gotcha. Wow.
53 years, yes.
That's
And
so
so
crazy.
I have not pumped gas. I remember the first time I had to pump gas, I had gone back to home from Germany to go to Federal State for a year.
Uh,
And this particular day, I had to get gas. I had just driven around. Vince, you were gone and everything. And I went to this gas station and it was raining so hard. I had to get out in the rain and I didn't know where the thing was in the back to put the gas in the car. And it was raining so hard. And I stood there and cried and cried. And I got away with it because it was so much rain. They didn't know it was tears. They
right.
thought it was rain. I was like, oh my God, where's my husband? And that was my first experience of pumping gas
Mm, mm.
because he honored me and said, you won't do it.
Wow.
Yeah. But
That's
let me say this. Let me say this. For those of you that's pumping gas, don't go home and bash your husband, please. Okay.
or if you don't have a husband, don't be upset.
Your husband, don't be upset. Don't say you're not going to pump gas again and your car needs gas. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just our particular situation. We're talking about partnership in relationships.
Yeah.
And right now we're talking about that marriage piece.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, with that, I'm going to say this real quick. I'm wondering about myself because I tend to run into problems in relationships. I have sisters, I swear they don't like me, because and I always search myself to say, God, am I doing something wrong?
Right.
Because it's like we shouldn't keep ending up here.
Right.
Yeah. And so,
Right.
yeah, but we're working on that too.
But I feel that's what I'm talking about. I feel that thing where I look around me, I look in my heart, and I feel like, at least, everybody's wise in his own eyes. I feel like my heart is a good heart to connect with someone else, someone's else.
Okay. Okay.
But then I look at my resume, and my resume don't depict that. And
Mm,
I'm on a journey, an internal journey on why is that. It could be just that it's taken me 45 years to come into myself for real, for real.
Mhm.
mhm,
Now
mhm.
I have a long-term friendship, Mo. We hang in there tight, so it's not
Right.
all bad, but I sort of have that thing like with you, Ma, like, why, like, shouldn't our sisters, like, when your point, like, shouldn't me and my sister just be cool on GP? Like, what
Yeah.
is the thing? So I'm in search of that, and I'm gonna add today's wisdom to my pot of ingredients.
Yeah. 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 And so, but yeah, this has been awesome. And I say to you, all that are there that are listening, and now we can't always take the blame for what goes wrong.
Right.
But when we internalize or when we self explore when we self-evaluate, we always want to make sure, even when we know we're not the problem, we know that other people have a problem, we still want to continuously self-evaluate
Hmm.
to make sure that we're not a part of the problem. And sure, we'll always be a part of the problem, but the part that you can't do anything about, if somebody don't like you because of whatever, is
Right.
nothing you can do about that.
Right. Right.
But always just make sure we are not a part of the problem. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So okay, Papa Hill, you can give us some comments before we go?
I, I'm good. I'm good. We are in hour and 5 minutes.
How did we get to an hour and 5 minutes?
Oh my
Oh,
God. Can we see some of the comments on the board?
okay, I'm gonna start from the bottom and then
Okay. Thomas Bristow, listening to your family dynamic sounds much like my family. My father and mother were very traditional as well. My father played the role as a leader, and mother played the role of submissive. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I know your mom and dad. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
your mom is still a jewel. I love her dearly. Yes.
Yeah. I love
And
it.
we miss your dad. Oh, how we miss your dad.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You question if it's you. Yeah.
Yeah, you always do because that's for people who self-inventory, for self-eternalize. Is it me? But
Yeah.
there are those who don't. They just know it's you.
Right.
Never could be them. That type of thing. Yes,
Right. Right.
Okay.
there's nothing like family. You can always depend on. Now that's the truth right there.
Yeah.
Despite differences, family always comes together.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In my opinion, the economy is not set up for one person to be the breadwinner. Both of my parents had to work. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you want to have something now, you can barely get by, especially now. Oh my God! I
Mhm.
went in the store the other day and I said, "Lord, listen, you don't want your people complaining, but we got to eat. We got to eat. And that what I paid. That what I paid $11 for a month ago is now $19.99 in a grocery
Mhm.
store.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I
That's
don't need that.
that's one thing about being single. A one income household. I cannot wait to hire my single status just for the two incomes.
Okay.
Mm.
The
I'm
cat
just,
says late, but I'm here. Harry Cash,
hey, Riri.
family safe space. Yes. That's the first time I've seen her picture, if that's her.
That's her. Mhm.
That's her. Okay. Relationships can definitely be a bit difficult in
For sure.
2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Really.
I told well, yeah, we don't have time to give too much.
Mhm.
Until death do us part generation for absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Joyce.
Let's put this in real quick.
53 years. What a bless. It's been God. Recash, it's been God. I feel respect as selflessness has been replaced with selfishness and
Yeah.
mistreatment. Yes, it has been.
Yeah.
We need to do a class, a seminar on respect, what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of, don't we got something coming up, right?
The
Oh,
prayer
yeah.
Monday morning,
June the 2nd,
June
is it?
2nd, Monday
The 2nd,
morning. What
7,
time was that? 7:30?
7:30 in the morning. Yeah. Can y'all remind me to do a flyer so we can put it up?
Yeah, we need to put a fly up so they can have the connect time,
Yeah.
the prayer line time. Hi, Sharon.
Hey.
Right. That was a,
That was it. Thomas
that
says he wishes his father was still here. We would love to see how my parents evolved and grew. Oh,
yeah.
I know. Don't say that. You make me sad, Thomas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Oops. Okay.
Is that it? All right.
That's it.
Well, I would say to everyone, thank you so much for your time. And Vincent is going to get a flyer out for that prayer session this coming Monday morning. We're
Let's
going
come.
to have prayer, praise, and this coming Monday, and a prophecy.
God.
Absolutely. And we're really wisdom's gonna be laid out there. Holy Spirit will meet us there and all that good stuff. Um, let's not forget the impartation 2026 in Atlanta, Georgia. I need for someone, nobody here has told me, I have not heard anybody say, we're coming. I need to just hear one person say it, and that's going to be there because it means so much to me.
March the what? 13th through the 15th, 2020.
13 through 15. Now Joyce is coming. Joyce and her husband is coming if nothing happened.
It would be good to have them. It would be good
Yes.
to have them.
Vincent, remember you guys from Fulda. He reminded me that you all were in Fulda. I had forgotten all about it.
Yeah, I connected for Fulda, not Oklahoma. So I was so thrown off when you were like, no, Oklahoma. I was like, huh? Because I remember saying, oh, from Germany. So yeah.
Right. Okay. So, but all right, may the Lord bless you. That's my farewell. See you next time. Dad Hill and Vincent have theirs. Oh yeah, thank you guys for the cash app you've been sending. Phenomenal. Thank you so much. And you know that's not why we're here, but because you're doing it, we thank you for that. Yes,
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, my last words is, I'm going to commit to ironing it out in me, and hopefully, once I get it, really, once I am able to display all that I have learned this last 14, 16 months.
Mhm, mhm.
All that I've learned this last 16 months, that I can then share it with others and start bringing more warmth into the world.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
All right. And mine is keep on living. Be directed by your love for one another.
Mm.
Love yourself as you want someone to love you. I mean, love others as you want someone to love yourself.
Absolutely.
Right.
It sounds good to me. We know what, even if you said it wrong, we know what you mean.
Right. I love.
All right. Until next Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Well, we actually going to meet Monday.
Right. Monday.
Yeah.
7:30. Yeah.
At 7.
So are we going to do it on the prayer line, or are we going to come on the platform right here?
It's done snuck up on me because this trip threw me off a little bit. We are going to. What I'm probably going to do, Mom and Dad, is set up a keyword where people can text. Like if you want to, God willing, I'm going. Okay, well, there you go, Mom. There you go.
Woo!
There you go, Mom. So we got one.
We got two. Joyce and her family's coming. Remember?
Right. I love.
Thank you, Rikash.
What we can probably do is maybe we can do I tell you what, maybe Friday around 12 noon.
Okay.
Come live for about 10, 15 minutes with the flyer and give people the information on how to join. It's coming up Monday. And then I'll share it in my private community. And then you guys can share it with y'all's private community.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Blessings. Love you guys.
God bless. See y'all tonight at 9:30. We're going up.
All right.